one of the most striking chapters, Hubert, of your book is titled, The Problem with Perfection. And you mentioned that everyone around you, including yourself, was expecting nothing but perfection from you. And in a certain sense, you delivered this, right, for a long time by always, showing, as you said, that you were the smartest guy in the room, that you had all the answers, that everything was under control. But at the same time, this quest for perfection has taken its toll, right? So particularly, as you mentioned, by preventing people around you from connecting with you in a deeper way. And you described that you then decided to embrace vulnerability and to allow yourself to show, let's say, your full self at work. So how did this process unfold? How difficult was it for you? And how rewarding was this change of attitude was from both, the personal and the professional standpoints? Thank you.
Yeah, Alexander, because I was confusing perfection and performance, right? Of course, in business, we need to perform, right? There's no doubt, or in our activities as human beings. But the problem with perfection, if we're seeking to be perfect, well, here's the scoop. I was a human being, so I was not going to be perfect, right? And so therefore, I would not be able to accept myself as I was. Worse, I was not able to accept my team members, because here's the scoop, my team members were also human beings, therefore they were imperfect. And so that creates constant dissatisfaction and sort of almost depression, right? Whereas if we realize that, we're not perfect, we're human beings. So we can accept ourselves, we can love ourselves, because to love others, you have to start with loving yourself. And then we can love others and accepting them with their imperfection. And that's really helpful to accept our imperfection, because here's a very concrete example, right? Alexander, at the beginning of the pandemic, were you the one who had the manual to deal with COVID? Did you have that manual?
No, of course
not. No, you did not, right? And probably nobody did. And so the only way to deal with COVID was to be able to say, I don't know. And we're going to have to figure it out. We're going to have to ask for advice and then try to figure out. And if this happens, then we can leverage our collective strengths and produce much better results, because we're not limited, to this false idea of perfection. And then we can build these genuine human connections, because the only way we can connect with each other at a very personal and deep and meaningful level is if we can open up. And if I can talk to you about my crucibles in life, then that changes things. And because the only thing that's real in life is human connections, in business, in life, that is what unleashes human magic, which is what we've seen at Best Buy. So now, how did I recover from that disease? I got help, right? I couldn't do it myself. So a transformative point in my life was working with a coach. In 2009, my head of HR at Carlson Companies walked into my office, Elizabeth Bastoni, and she said, would you like to work with a coach? And I said, Elizabeth, have I done something wrong, right? Is there a problem? Has somebody complained? And she said, no, this is a coach who helps successful leaders get better. And that's Marshall Goldsmith. He wrote this wonderful book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. I highly recommend it. And he helped me discover not feedback, but feed forward. I always struggled with feedback because it's a bit depressing, and I cannot change the past, but feed forward, I can decide what I want to get better at and ask for help, right? If I want to become a better delegator or better at unleashing growth, maybe Alexander, I can ask you, do you have any advice for me? How do you do this, in your world? Or maybe anybody on this call can help me. So really very, very powerful.